It is 14 past 11. My name is Max, and welcome back to Biz by the Water. It's been a while, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed bringing back Flashback Friday last week. Now, you all voted on the Instagram page for 2024. Now, every Friday, you will be able to vote for a flashback episode from the years we've been doing the podcast, which are 2021, 2022, 23, and 24. And there was also a lot of votes. It came very close between 2021 and 2024. And I please do pray that you guys don't vote for 2021. The 2021 episodes are, in my opinion, the worst episodes to listen to. I know that's not good from a marketing standpoint, but I was very naive and new to the podcasting world at that time. Now, it's actually been a rather quiet week so far. Happy November, everyone. I know Halloween was last week, and I hope you all had a great time going out trick-or-treating. That was fun. I haven't done it no, I did go last year. I didn't go the year before though. So this year ended up working on Friday night. So that was fun. I was playing around with different sets to put my mini squad through. I did a few 100s, a few 50s. And and this week, of course, I've been training as well, doing a bit of IM, doing a bit of backstroke. You know, as I hate backstroke, I'm trying to work on it a bit more. And so I did PB in the 50 back recently at Southwest. But at Northwest was last weekend, and a big congratulations to all the teams. A few observations from Northwest. I was working while the competition was going on, but a few observations. Carlisle was the biggest team there by far. Then, of course, followed by SOPAC was another one. And a few other teams. Auburn did very, very well, so congratulations to Team Auburn. And SOPAC, I won't comment on that, but I have a lot of friends from SOPAC, so shout out to all of them. Great people. And Team Auburn, wow. I've talked about Auburn before. They were a very good club back under one of my old coaches, Matt. And then Matt left, and then the club sort of died out for a bit. And then one of my other old coaches from SOPAC, Puncher, he came along and revived it and brought it back to life, along with a few other swimmers from Olympic Park that followed with him. And now Team Auburn is doing extremely well. And one of the swim schools / squad programs, Oscorp, they represent Auburn, so you can check them out. I don't know too much about them, but all I know is that they represent Auburn from time to time, a few of their swimmers. And they do a similar thing. I'm pretty sure they do a similar thing to what PLC and United do. So United represents PLC. This only really makes much sense if you are in the swimming world or if you are in Sydney area. And one thing I did notice, now this is some old news, but the Enfield Aquatic Centre will be closing soon for renovations. As I work at a swim school, one of the locations that we use is Enfield for our swimming school. I have not been to the Enfield location, but it's unfortunate. Enfield Aquatic Centre. Let's find out some more details on that. It's still open, don't worry. But that's interesting. Stage 2 upgrades. Sorry, my mistake. It's actually stage 4 upgrades. A new foyer, undercover walkway. I don't know if I'm actually reading the right thing. Anyway, I suggest looking at that. I wouldn't trust my sources anyway. That's under renovation. And one thing I noticed when I was at work over the weekend, Olympic Park Aquatic Centre, that place, I'm very sorry, but it's getting quite old. Some of the speakers are about to fall down, so they sectioned off a big area. And that was fun as I kept watching the lifeguards shoo people away from that little area where there's seating. And then the weekend before at Northwest when I was racing, I got a bit excited because the fire alarm started going off. And I thought the solar panels might have been on fire again. So anyway, that's for another time. But I as a lot of people did know, there was a competition last year and the solar panels did go off at Olympic Park and the whole place had to be evacuated. I wasn't there, but apparently it was a catastrophe. And I haven't heard anything since, but all I heard was on the news. All I saw that back then was on the news that there was a lot of fire. On the job board at the moment, there's not too much going on in Sydney for swimming coaching. It's more learn to swim, but not too much going on. There's a lot in Victoria. Swimming Australia is looking for an events coordinator in Brisbane. Not that any of us are going to Brisbane. Rackley's looking for a few coaches. A lot of learn to swim jobs out there as well. If anyone wants to go down to Woolamaya, where I had my camp, there's a job down at Shoalhaven as well for you. But that's lots of fun. And yeah, that's great to see. Learn to swim is the backbone of swimming, of course. Well, you have to start somewhere, of course. And I was talking to a lot of people in the swimming world, and recently I've met a few people who started a lot later. Now, of course, I started from the beginning competitive swimming at a younger age, but I've been talking to a lot of other people who started around the ages of 11 or 12, and I thought it was actually quite interesting because I mean, I thought you would need to start building your endurance at a younger age. But anyway, I'm just a swimmer and an athlete. And I'm also a coach, so I guess I know a few things. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get back onto track. And wow, what a champion. Molly O'Callaghan just absolutely smashing records over there. I think it's the... let's take a look, actually. Well, yeah, last time I did report on it, she broke a world record. But I'm pretty sure she broke that world record a few days later. I think this is the short course circuit. Let's take a look. Last one, she was in Toronto. First World Cup's done. Very good. Congratulations. I think her time a few weeks ago was 1:49.77 for the 200 free. What a champion. That's absolutely incredible. And looking forward to seeing her progress as we progress into the swimming season. Long course is back and it's here to stay for another, until probably around June, July, until short course season kicks in next year. But we are getting into the Christmas spirit, and Mariah Carey has defrosted. I would play All I Want for Christmas Is You, but I'm afraid the podcast would get very much copyrighted, and I don't really want to deal with copyright strikes these days. I've got it too much to deal with. But yeah, I've been seeing everywhere, even in Burwood, when I've been going to swimming, they put up the Christmas tree, and Halloween was only 5 days ago, so... Yeah, they really do put up that tree quickly. That massive tree right in Burwood Park, right across from the entrance of Westfield. Speaking of Westfield, they opened up a Yochi, JB Hi-Fi, as well as a few other stores in Westfield Burwood that were long overdue. All they need now is a Uniqlo, but I guess the closest one to me is the City. Now, that's Burwood for you. Burwood was ranked, I think it was the 16th most popular suburb in the world, and that, honestly, as someone who goes to Burwood at most days, as someone who swims there, who's been there a lot, I can back that claim up that it is very popular, and it basically is the life of Sydney. Now, my cousin and I, Ryan, will be back with some more food reviews, and we do have to, both of us do agree that the city is quite boring. Most of my friends and I, we do go to the city. There is nothing to do there. There's a few good shops, but yeah, I don't really think there's much to do in the city, apart from playing pool, which we can also do in Burwood at the top of Emerald Square. The only other thing I really do in the city, well, other than go into my mum's office, that's really it. Or that's honestly all I do in the city these days. I go out, eat, sometimes walk around Darling Harbour. Yeah, there's not much to do in the city. I think there's lots of other places. I did go to Chatswood for the first time. I went 2 times in 1 week during the last school holidays. It was hyped up a lot, and I don't compare it to Burwood. I think it's Chatswood Chase that I went to. I have no idea. Someone can correct me in the comments, but I did go to Chatswood. I did explore a bit. There was a lot of good food there that I did try, and of course, cha time as usual. I have to have the cha time every time I go out. Bubble tea or something like that. One of my favorite drinks. But yeah, that's great. Chatswood, I would rate it. I would rate Burwood higher, and then I would put the city behind Burwood. Then maybe Chatswood's a bit far. I did take the metro, but it took maybe 30 minutes. And speaking of the metro, back onto my favorite topic, not slandering the government. I don't want to get too political here. But the New South Wales government have pushed back my metro opening. Now, as you know, I live very close to one of the metro conversions on the Southwest Line. It's been under conversion for just over a year now, 1 year and 2 months. It was meant to open 2 months ago. They delayed it to January 2026. And now there's reports that it will be delayed even further into September 2026, making it a 2-year-long project. It's outrageous. I hate taking the SW buses, the Southwest buses. I'm sick of taking them. I have nothing wrong with buses, but compared to a metro, I would much rather take the metro. It could take me 10 minutes to get into the city, but now I have to go to Sydenham and then catch the metro from Sydenham to the city or wherever I'm going. It's not very convenient, and please, just get it done, government. The Minns government. I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, this is my little rant, my little talk back rant. I keep seeing the train drivers that keep going on strike, and then apparently that delayed the the opening of the metro, which I don't know how that goes hand in hand because I didn't think train drivers could be construction workers as well, and the metro is driverless. Please don't attack me on this. I'm just saying it from how I see it. So I'm not a talkback radio host. I'm not any of that. I'm just a kid with a podcast. And yeah, that's basically all of what I have to say about the government. I have been seeing they have the NYC mayoral election as well as a few other seats in the House of Representatives in the US are up for grabs. I think there's 2 of them. I know one of them, one of the representatives hasn't been sworn in yet because there's still a government shutdown in the US. Now, I'm just going to stop right there because I know I can go into depth too much. But also one more thing on politics. The coalition has been hurt even further. I was reading, shout out to 6 News. They're doing a great job over there. I know a few people who work are at 6 News. But before I go on to the what seats would be up for grabs today, in the election, Labor was at a 35%. Now they're at 36%. The Liberal Nationals, the coalition, was at 32% in May. Now they're down to 24%. One Nation is up to 15% from 6% in May. And if an election was held today, let me just get this up. I believe the Labor Party would have gained 1 seat. The coalition would have lost 8. And One Nation would have gained 3. That's all I have to say. I'm not going into my opinions or anything. I really don't want to get cancelled on a Wednesday afternoon. It's actually quite sunny, but the weather in Sydney has been rather bipolar recently. I was walking home yesterday and around midday actually, and it started raining, like tiny shower just around midday. And then when I got through the door at home, I look out the window, it's back to being sunny again. I don't understand the weather. I never will. And speaking of weather, the Bomb website has absolutely bombed and tanked. People hate it. And I haven't checked it out. I don't even think I know what the old Bomb website looks like. But yeah, I'm going to leave it to the people who know what they're talking about. But yeah, I don't think it went down very well. And that's another government decision that I will not put my opinion on. Anyway, that is Biz by the Water for today, your full show for Wednesday, the 5th of November. It is currently 29 past 11 right here at the Biz Network. Congratulations to everyone who swam at Northwest and Southwest. I will try and think of a few names to mention in a sec. I don't want to single anyone out. If I single you out, I'm very sorry. I owe you. Shout out to Lachlan, Caden, Marvin, Oscar, and anyone else who wants to be shouted out, please, you can DM me. You know my Insta. You know the Biz by the Water Insta. And good luck to anyone who's racing this weekend at Southeast. I'm pretty sure it's Southeast, my old area. As you know, I used to represent PLC Swim Club, so it'll be interesting to see the results this weekend. And of course, we're leading up to some of the qualifying meets. And of course, you have the Youth Metropolitan Championships end of November. After that, they pushed it back this year, actually. Senior State will be held a bit later. Last year, I believe it was from the last day of school, and then 7 days after that, we ended. So I finished school last year. I think it was the 6th of December, maybe the 5th, and it went for 7 days. Now, this week, they're pushing it back way until the 14th. So 14th until, I'm pretty sure it's probably the 21st or something like that. I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard last time. But that's quite interesting how they decided to hold it a lot later this year. I will double check that for you if I have gotten any information wrong. Don't attack me. You can let me know and point it out. But yeah, that's Biz by the Water for you. I'll catch you all in the next episode. If you are curious on what I'm up to as well, you can check out my Instagram, and you can also check out the Biz Audio podcast brought to you by the Biz Network.